Well, I guess we've come a long way since that first trip into Castle Wolfenstein, the fiery pits of Doom, the seedy back alleys of Duke Nukem, and the secret bunkers of GoldenEye. Undoubtedly one of video gaming's biggest sensations of the last decade, the Halo series has broken sales records, won countless awards, and set new benchmarks for first-person shooters. Few games of recent memory have been surrounded by as much hype, acclaim, and popularity. And this is what started it all: Halo Combat Evolved for the Xbox. When the Xbox was first launched in November of 2001, I remember a lot of my friends and I were a little skeptical of Microsoft's ability to compete with Sony and Nintendo, and a lot of the console's launch titles failed to instill much hope for its future. Except, of course, for this well-polished and refined sci-fi shooter developed by the newly acquired Bungie Studios. Halo caught on quickly as the reason to buy an Xbox, and undeniably became a primary factor in the console's initial survival and future success. Its ease of control, frantic action, and cinematic intensity all came together into a cohesive and immersive experience that would soon make gaming history. The Halo franchise has since become massive, with its sequels, merchandising, books, even speculations of a movie to be produced by Peter Jackson. It's also inspired its legions of fans to make some hilarious in-game movies, or also some really cool homebrewed game adaptations. I definitely recommend seeking out Ed Fry's version of Halo for the Atari 2600. Of course, anything surrounded by this much hype is bound to be considered overrated by some. And no game's perfect. Halo does have its minor flaws, like some instances of tedious level design, or some of its rugged-looking cutscenes.
It must have been one of their boarding parties. I'd guess an antimatter charge.
Control for the main cannon is offline!
But there's so many great things about this game that had a huge impact and influence on the decade of first-person shooters to follow it. I could go on about the widely applauded refinements on the FPS genre, like the balancing act of only having 2 guns to choose from, or the tactics of taking cover to recharge your shields, or its technical achievements and its stunning graphics and sound design. But what really got me hooked on this game was its evolving nature. Your objectives adapt in each level as everything unfolds before you, like a wild, interactive James Cameron movie, and it becomes so easy to fall into the role of the faceless and fearless Master Chief. At times, the story may become a bit convoluted, but it certainly succeeds at sucking you in and not letting go. And before you know it, you've spent hours glued to your couch. And so that's just the single-player campaign. The first Halo game also has a really solid multiplayer experience, with cooperative play and a huge variety of competitive modes, adding endless hours of Slayer shenanigans and oddball madness. But unfortunately, it was unable to forge new ground online, as Xbox Live hadn't even been launched yet at the time, so Halo fanatics would just have to wait for the sequel. And that wait was certainly worth it, but I'll save that for another review. In retrospect, it's interesting to ponder the after effects of Halo, and even wonder what the world of gaming might be like today without it. Could the Xbox have survived without Master Chief? Or would it have had to rely on Dead or Alive's jiggly volleyball team? Would the FPS genre have moved onward? Or maybe it might have somehow devolved and paved the way for a new generation of first-person office job simulators. Cubicle multitasking evolved. Okay, maybe those are a bit of a stretch, but this one's a viable question for sure. If Halo had never been released, would I have studied more in college? Yeah, probably. But anyways, that's history. And so is the ongoing legacy of this gaming phenomenon, Halo.